Hello. Hello. Welcome to my channel. My name is Sydney and this is Gotham Healing Insight. And in today's video, I want to talk about why 2020 was such a damn hellhole, right? And in my opinion and how I feel about the situation, other than the coronavirus, I don't feel like 2020 was such a shit show because of the coronavirus. I feel like the coronavirus was a materialized effect of the energy that was coming in from the universe, from the sun. As we're getting closer to the sun, I feel like 2020 was collectively a hellhole for everybody because the energy that was coming in, that had been coming in the previous years, like after 2012, when they kept telling us that the world was going to end and nobody was taking it seriously. They thought everything was just going to be the same, you know, everybody was just going to keep doing the same thing over and over again, mundane, living linear, not being in our power, you know, not knowing who we really are, not taking our spirituality seriously, and the fact that we are spiritual beings first. Everybody just thought it was just we were gonna keep rerunning and cycling through the mundane and not knowing and living in a multi-dimensional reality. So I feel like everybody got hit with the energy at a more stronger state because it had been progressing ever since 2012. 2015, the people who are aware of star seeds and they're very sensitive, we were picking up on this energy since 2012, 2015. It started to really show itself a lot more 2015 going towards 2018 and 2019. It was really visible 2017 for me. 2016, because 2016 was one of them years where the collective was like, what the f just happened? What was that? Like 2016, I remember 2016 was a year, and it was because a lot of energy from the universe and galactic energy was coming in and shifting things and getting us prepared for the reset for 2020. And 2020 was the big, like, grand finale of everything, all the energy that was coming in and that was set to reshift things and get everything in alignment to what is actually supposed to be on the planet, so that, you know, the planet is being of its highest expression and everything is in alignment with what benefits our planet, and how that is supposed to be in alignment with what is going to keep everything balanced in the universe and the cosmos at large. That energy was so aggressive because people were not preparing for that energy years prior. So the people who were not taking their spirituality seriously, they weren't taking their spiritual body seriously and how that connects to everything in their life and how they're expressing themselves in that way. Most people were not taking that seriously and just living in this linear reality. And that's why 2020 hit all our asses like a fucking brick wall, because people are not going within and they're disempowered and they're waiting for someone outside of them to tell them what to do and how to live. That's why 2020, it was not merciful, because it's beyond the powers that are controlling us right now. It's beyond what the hell we're even aware of to a greater extent. I feel like people were panicking. Everybody collectively was panicking because they was not on their shit. They was not going within. They wasn't taking their spiritual essence and their spirituality seriously. So when that energy started coming in and shifting things and getting everything back into alignment, their P's and Q's weren't together on a spiritual energetic sense, and they weren't doing their shadow work and kind of getting rid of things internally that were keeping them in a false sense of self and a false identity and away from their divinity, outside of their divinity. It hit them the hardest. It hit everybody pretty much. It was intense for everybody, and intense doesn't mean bad. It was just intense for everybody because energetically it was getting real. It was like real. It wasn't just something that everybody could just be like, oh, I'm just going to ignore this. No, it was here. That's why everything was so chaotic, because energetically everybody was feeling it, and it wasn't something that people could ignore anymore. It was something that everybody had to face individually, and it was coming up and raising things and shifting things and sifting things out of people to the surface that they needed to face, that they was trying to stay asleep. They thought that they had a choice to stay asleep. Everybody at a certain level is spiritual, regardless of if they want to acknowledge that about themselves or not. Everybody's spiritual. Everybody has gifts where they can sense how people are feeling. Empath. Everybody's an empath. Everybody has spiritual gifts, talents, and abilities. And it's just that everybody collectively, most of us have agreed to allow ourselves to be dim and asleep and astray from our divinity and our power. So 2020 was bringing that up, and our cells and our body have been getting cleansed and are being purged and are awakening, and that doesn't feel good, because if you're not used to operating at a level where it's advanced and you're utilizing all of your inner resources and your gifts that basically make you superhuman, your body's not used to being fully activated in that state. You're gonna feel crazy. You're gonna feel like everything in your life is just going to shit, because you don't understand what's happening on an energetic level, especially if you're basically kind of like you're closed off, you're closed up, and you're really, it's good to be grounded, but you're too grounded. You're not open to being aware and cognizant of higher divine realities, information, and awareness. So it was tough for people who they aren't really into spirituality. They're into religion, but they are into that linear way of going by a practice. They need something, a structure, a foundation that's validated by most people outside of them, an authority outside of them, for them to feel comfortable to express that. But now that 2020 is over with, people are thinking that 2021 is going to be better. But here's the thing. The people that were having spiritual awakenings before 2020 and getting prepared to be ready for 2020's energy and the layout that it was having for everybody to be on the same page, whether you had a spiritual awakening or not before 2020, everybody needed to be on the same page. Whereas we're moving forward, and you can't keep doing the same things you were doing prior to 2020. You don't have time to do that anymore. Everything needs to get back into order. So 2021 is going to be a little bit, it's not going to be better than 2020 if you're still resisting the energies that are coming in to shift things, because we're moving into a time where we're going to be seeing superhumans. People are going to have superpowers. At the end of December, around the equinox, when everybody kept saying, did you get your superpowers yet? People are not saying that for no reason, and it's like they're saying that just to seem like has some sort of awareness of having something over the next person, but really it's real life. If you have been doing spiritual work, shadow work, you're a starseed, you're sensitive, you're aware, you're not in a linear reality, and you're empowered, and your power, yourself, you live an authentic life, you're living in integral, you're most likely going to start experiencing shifts in your DNA, your cells, your body, the way your body functions, to where there's certain gifts in the junk DNA that's going to be activated, and you're going to start using those abilities and those inner resources that you weren't aware of privy to 2020. Okay, 2021, the energy is very odd, it's very new, it's very fresh, it's different than 2020, because that energy is now here, and now it's going to start progressing, and now it's going to start shifting even more. It's going to be even different than 2020. The energy in 2020 was so harsh because people were still resisting the shift. They thought everything was going to stay the same, and it's not. 2021, everybody collectively had their understanding at a certain level. Things are not going to be the same. We're going to have to let go of what we're used to, and we're going to have to adapt. We're going to have to change, okay? And 2021, it's obvious that there needs to be changes made. There needs to be changes made. There needs to be you know, some shifting in our lives, how we're living our lives, how we're expressing ourselves, all of that. But 2021, the energy is very intense. It's molding things in a new way where we have to recreate things, and the people who are being prepared to embody these higher divine dimensional energies, whose souls are advanced, whose souls are very aware, who have been to different parts of the universe and have collected soul knowledge and soul growth to be able to come back into earth in this dense reality, and where everything moves really slow, to come in and start channeling that energy and being a broadband straight from the universe and the cosmos to help emanate that energy within the grid, so that the grid system that we have now can start shifting and breaking open, and it can become heaven on earth for everybody. So people who are special, very different, you know, they're very aware of spiritual things, the occult, the esoteric, they're into that, and they live their life by those practices and by that information, ancient knowledge and ancient wisdom and stuff like that. They're most likely the ones that are going to be the initiators of this new world order. They're going to be, you know, they're going to become the new leaders. They're going to be very advanced. They're going to have a lot of special gifts and abilities and that energy. That's why things are very confusing right now. You don't really know how to have a grip on anything, because we've never experienced this energy before. We've never experienced seeing people have superpowers, shifting in a way where we don't know what's happening to our body, to where we're having certain abilities come online, and we're having to learn how to use them and implement them in our everyday life. So that means that everything in our life is going to be completely different. We don't understand that energy that's activating those gifts and those abilities and those functions in our body. We're not used to this energy. It's kind of like we're kind of just like in the dark and reaching and trying to figure out how to navigate and all of that, because this energy is very different. It's not this, we cannot move the same way we did years ago. Even before 2020, we cannot do things like that. It's not appropriate. And so I just wanted to make this video to kind of help anybody who feels like they're kind of just like, they're aimless, they don't know what the hell to do, and they just kind of feel like, you know, they want to do something, but they don't know how. This energy is very foreign. It's different. The energy's buzzing, the air's buzzing, you know, it's very different. Just be reassured that you're feeling like that, because we're moving into a paradigm where you're about to start seeing superheroes. The things that were in the superhero movies with these very powerful people, and they have superpowers and all of this, and they're saving the world, that's not fake. That's real life, okay? The human race is supposed to evolve. You know, we were supposed to been having these abilities and living with magic, and that being the norm. It used to be like that before it was taken away and used against us to control us and feed off of our magic. But now that's being brought back to our awareness and brought back into our lives and back into our bodies, because that is the natural order. That's the way we were intended to be, okay? That's why we had figure like Jesus Christ, you know, or Osiris in Egypt, you know. It's because of that, because that's just the way everything is supposed to be. We're supposed to be empowered. We are of God, so we have to act like that. We can't be disempowered and then expect the world to be a better place, because we're not taking power into our own hands and making things better within just within our own lives. 2020, we got busted open so that we can be aware of our spiritual, energetic resonance and beingness, so that 2021, moving forward, we are being prepared for our DNA and our cells and the way our body's functioning to become activated and more advanced and more evolved, so that we can start utilizing inner resources that are going to be extremely out of the ordinary, okay? Very out of the ordinary. And expect the unexpected. We live in this big ass universe. I don't understand why people are so they're so cut off from things actually being supernatural. Like there actually are aliens. There actually are fairies and like otherworldly beings that you can't see because you're closed off from it. You're cut off from it because you're not wanting to be open to that reality. Mermaids. You know, they spotted a mermaid a couple of months ago, you know, like that shit is real. So that's about to start surfacing into the physical reality where we're about to start seeing some real life fairy tale things in actual life, in actual real life. And that's gonna start happening in years to come. 2021, everyone had a dark night of the soul. 2020, you know, collectively. The people who are aware and sensitive, that were tapping into that energy and that were called by the divine and the Most High to get themselves prepared to lead people during 2020 and the years to come, they already had theirs. But people collectively that were trying not to open themselves up to higher awareness and their divinity and their power and connection to source and being in alignment with the truth, that's why it was so hard 2020. That's why 2020 hit most people so hard, because they weren't allowing themselves to open themselves up and let go of an ego that was basically false, a false nature. It wasn't even a fraction of who everybody was, but they were playing that out because that's what everybody else was doing, and they didn't want to be looking a certain way to people. They care too much about what people think about them instead of what the Creator thinks about you. You know, don't ever put other people's opinion of you before the Creator, because people outside of you did not create you. You have a certain purpose, you have a certain mission here, and it's significant, and it's not to be taken lightly, and it's not something that you should ignore. You should honor that, and you should protect that, and you should respect that, you know, and follow that, and let that lead you wherever you need to go in your life, and what you need to do, and what actions you need to take, and how you express yourself. Because moving forward, it's gonna be hardcore. You know, no one's gonna AI and the people who are going to be leaders, spiritual leaders, because things are going to become a lot more spiritual. The churches and everything and religion is going to be looked at and questioned by people, because it's something that's used to control people and keep people disempowered and astray from everybody's true power and individuality, and how that's connected to the bigger picture, and they're actually being heaven on earth. It's going to be basically, you're either going to be leading or you're going to be taking over. Because as we advance and we start out the technology that we are as advanced beings, being the most smartest beings on the planet, we're supposed to be evolving and using and utilizing all of our cells and what our body was created to do initially, okay? To be superhuman, right? You're either going to do that or you're going to become AI. You're going to become a slave to AI, zombies, whatever the hell, where you have something else function in your body because you don't want to have to face the things that you have allowed yourself to be a slave to be a doormat to be a vessel for, that's against the truth of who you actually are and the totality and the wholeness of who you are on a multidimensional level. You're going to be taken over by that, because you're not going to want to face the that you need to face in order for you to get that out of the way, for the higher energies to actually land, and for you to understand what's happening to you. Because if you have all this shit in the way that you're not uncovering, you're not trying to understand, and you're not purging to release it, when these higher new energies and galactic energies start shifting shit within you, you're gonna go crazy. That's why people are going crazy, because they don't understand. They don't want to allow themselves to release a certain ego or a certain identity that's not even the truth of who they are. And these energies are releasing and purging and cleansing things and transforming things that are not supposed to be here anymore. Yeah, everything in your life that is false is going to be broken and taken away. It's going to be broken down. And you're going to have to rebuild, you're going to have to remold, you're going to have to realign, and you're going to have to realign your identity, the way you're living your life, the people you're associating with, the people you have around you, okay? You're going to have to reassemble everything, and most people don't want to do that. So that's why these energies are making things difficult for people, because they don't want to let go of things that we were programmed to think and believe, and let in the new and move forward with that. People don't like the change. And so with that being said, you're either going to change and progress and actually benefit from these energies, or you're going to resist and you're going to make it harder for you and everybody else. Because if most people are making this shift a lot harder because they don't want to let go and open up to something that they don't understand, right? And learn things that are going to actually make life a lot more broader, you know, a lot more magical, okay? Where technology is something that is going to benefit us and serve us, you know, where alien technology, this advanced technology that's already here, we're using it, we're operating it to make life better for everybody, easier for everybody. But if you're so used to that controlling you and stealing and feeding off of your energy to where you're afraid to get to know who you really are and how life is supposed to be in alignment with that, you're gonna get taken over by AI. And technology is advancing day by day. We about to start seeing some new gadgets. We're about to start seeing some really outlandish, you know, technology. Just be prepared for all of that. But Happy New Year. Hope everybody has had an amazing New Year, and I hope everybody's purging and releasing all the energy that was coming up in your life for you to look at, understand, and release, so you can progress and move forward and do better in 2021 and the years to come. And yeah, so thank you guys for watching. If you haven't already subscribed to the channel, please do subscribe. I would love to have you a part of the movement. And share this video around to anybody you feel like would like it. Just share it around the net. Hit that notification bell so you can be notified whenever I make a new video. Give this video a like. Comment down below your ideas, your thoughts, how you're feeling. I'd love to see it. And thanks again for watching. See you guys in the next video, okay? Amazing.